sbagliata, messa fuori, c'è Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di tacco, tiro, gol! Grosso, gol di Grosso, manca un minuto,
Hello and welcome to the Milan Talk podcast. I'm your host Amit Paul and I'm delighted to say we can mark our calendars for May the 9th as we booked our spot for the Coppa Italia final after seeing off Lazio on Wednesday night. Milan dug deep over 120 minutes, goalless after 90 minutes, goalless after extra time, eventually prevailing 5-4 on penalties. Donnarumma with some key saves, Alessio Romagnoli of all people scoring the winning spot kick, and that means we face Juventus in May. And our brilliant run continues. That's now 13 games unbeaten in all competitions and almost 600 minutes without conceding a goal. So fantastic all round. Looking at the positives and negatives for this game, starting with the positives, as I mentioned there, the fact that the boys dug so deep over 120 minutes. It's been a difficult schedule. There's big games to come, so whether or not it takes its toll in the coming days and weeks remains to be seen. But the effort from the lads was unbelievable. You know, we did waste our chances, and that is one of the main negatives that I have. We had great opportunities on the counter-attack. We didn't take them. Fortunately, we weren't made to regret those missed chances. But overall, more positivity in the sense that the confidence and morale within the group continues to build. If we'd have lost this game, whether in extra time or penalties, it would have been a massive blow for us, given the run that we've been on. So to see us continue going, to see us fight until the very last minute, and to have the quality and the ability to deal with the pressure in the penalty shootout is just brilliant to see. So credit to the boys, credit to Gattuso. Starting with the manager rating out of 10, I've given Gattuso an 8. I don't think his influence can be underplayed anymore. Yes, he admitted in his post-match interview that he isn't a tactical genius or a guru. You know, he isn't the most experienced tacticians out there. However, you can tell this team is giving every single bit of energy and effort they've got in their body for the coach, for the team. That starts with the management. He's obviously brought that culture in with him. The players are fighting for him. The results are arriving. That's building confidence. And that's credit to Gattuso. He really has turned things around. For me, tactically as well, I think he made some really good changes. Although Kalinic will come to him in a bit. But even though he didn't fluff his lines, the idea of bringing him on in the game with his pace and movement off the ball on the counter-attack, it made perfect sense for me. Bringing on Montolivo, Barini, key decisions to freshen things up and keep the energy high and a bit more experience. So Gattuso for me didn't put a foot wrong again. Great scenes after the full-time whistle, seeing him celebrate with the players. And that's why I've given him an 8 out of 10 for another fantastic night for the boss. Moving on to the player rating, starting with Donnarumma, I've given him an 8 out of 10. Absolutely crucial through the game, made some really key saves. And obviously emerged as a hero in the penalty shootout, making 2 more stops. There were some shaky moments. There were a couple of decisions he made when he came out to punch rather than catch. I don't like criticising him too much for it because that's evidently what he feels more comfortable and more natural doing. So I don't have an issue with him punching, but just certain decision making, it kind of, skipped a heartbeat. It was a little bit of a nervous wait to see what was unfolding. But he did also have a moment with Immobile when he tried to let the ball run out of play. It didn't, and it almost resulted in a goal. But overall, the saves that he did make and the influence that it had on the game, I've given Donnarumma an 8 out of 10 for a fantastic night for him. Calabria gets a 7. I think he defended brilliantly throughout. Again, he's now starting to show that consistency and maturity that is demanded of a young player at Milan. Really good opportunity to score, again, after his great finish against Roma. Couldn't quite find the back of the net on this occasion, but the fact that he's even finding himself in those dangerous positions, getting forward, being an attacking threat to go with the defensive work, more positive signs from him. And I think Andrea Conti has got a big job on his hands to kind of displace him in the lineup. Bonucci gets a 7 as well. I think, I've mentioned there, we've had 6 consecutive clean sheets now, almost 600 minutes without conceding a goal. He has been a major part of that, constantly marshalling and organising the back line, even congratulating teammates on key interceptions. There were moments where Calabria was doing well down the right. First man to be clapping and giving him praise was Bonucci. Absolutely crucial there. His experience off the ball, behind the scenes, all that rolled into one. He's an absolutely crucial part of the back line. So 7 out of 10 for Bonucci. Romagnoli gets a slightly higher mark. I've given him an 8 out of 10. for me, he is an absolutely different class at the moment. I don't profess to watch every single league in Europe to make such a big statement. So correct me if I'm wrong. If there is someone else out there that is as good as him at the moment, then let me know. But for me, in my opinion, he has to be up there with the best defenders in Europe. Again, didn't put a single foot wrong defensively. Made countless key interceptions. There was one against Milinkovic-Savic in extra time. That was absolutely crucial. And of course, to see him step up and score the winning penalty, the composure to kind of put it in the back of the net, fantastic, absolutely fantastic from him. So I've given him an 8 out of 10. And I think for the third, maybe possibly fourth match running now, he is my man of the match. So again, Alessio, fantastic job from him. Ricardo Rodriguez unfortunately disappointed me. I've given him a 6 out of 10. Not really that convincing. I think he had a lot of problems down that flank. He even had problems with Felipe Anderson when he came off the bench. And he just still looks really lost in possession. He either looks to check back and go backwards towards Romagnoli, Bonucci, Biglia. If he does go forward, he either tries to drill a pass forward and it doesn't really go anywhere, or he puts another teammate under pressure. And there was that one moment in the first half, I believe, where he tried to play a crossfield pass, passed it straight to Milinkovic-Savic, and we were lucky to get away with it. So really disappointing from him. I'm really shocked to see him do so poorly. He obviously missed the penalty as well, when we all know, or we were led to believe that he's a penalty specialist, but clearly that's not going well for him right now. So yeah, lots of negatives for Rodriguez, unfortunately, and he, even with Calabria potentially being switched over to the left when Conte comes back, I think Rodriguez might have a problem on his hands, so something to look out for there. Onto the midfield, I've given Kessie a 7. Fascinating duel with Milinkovic-Savic, both of them going at it, a very physical battle between the two. I think Kessie did a really good job, as he did at the weekend against Nangolan on that occasion, in giving us a foothold in the game, providing that sort of physical presence, the ability to get around the pitch. I thought he did a really good job. Got booked, and I thought it was quite soft actually, but got the booking, managed to play sensibly after that to avoid getting a second yellow card. So happy with Kessie, giving him a 7 out of 10. Biglia also gets a 7. I think there were moments again in this game, similarly to Roma, where he was a bit sloppy in possession, gave the ball away. However, his work off the ball, regaining possession, breaking play up for the opposition is absolutely crucial. I think he does that absolutely brilliantly. So again, used his experience well, didn't look tired, continued to cover a lot of ground even into extra time. So again, happy with Biglia, so I'll give him a 7. Bonaventura gets a 7 as well. I think possibly a little bit generous. I think he kind of disappeared in the game at times as well, but in terms of sheer effort and tireless, work off the ball for the team, I think he was brilliant. Put a real shift in. Looked to be getting tired towards the end of the game. He was trying to sort of bring the crowd into it as well to give everybody a lift, but did look tired. But overall, I think he did a really good job for the team in midfield, so I've given him a 7. Suso unfortunately gets a 6. I think he was lacking something on Wednesday night. That little bit of decisiveness in the final third. Didn't really involve himself too much in the game overall. Especially in these big games, we look to our top players to deliver. I don't think he did on this occasion, so that's why I've given him a 6. But all that being said, he did play his part in the result, keeping things tight defensively off the ball. He does a lot of work defensively for the team, so not too harsh, hopefully. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Suso. Also a 6 for Catrone. I think it was always going to be difficult for him to go up against the back three. Didn't have really much room to manoeuvre to try and find the decisive touch to get on the score sheet again. However, what I did like about his performance was that he was willing and able to drop back and link play up. I think there was a couple of decent touches from him there. A bit more vision to kind of show a different side to his game where he can be a different type of player up top for us. So that was good to see. But overall, didn't have a great impact on the game. Kind of looked a little bit tired towards the end before he came off. So good decision to rest him. But on this occasion, I've got to give him a 6 out of 10. Hakan Çalhanoğlu gets a 7. I think there was a moment in the 120th minute where he was still running and tracking back and pressurising the ball. Unbelievable effort from the Turkish international. For someone that's obviously struggled with his fitness earlier on when he first joined the club, having had to sit out for a few months with a ban, I think he really is now showing that he is on top of his game in terms of fitness and putting an unbelievable shift for us. But along with Suso and Bonaventura, I think they were all a little bit wasteful on the counter-attacks. I think we were in really dangerous positions at times, whether that was just choosing the wrong pass, just allowing the move to peter out. There were a couple of situations where I was quite disappointed, but overall, Gianluigi, good enough for me to get a 7. Onto the substitutes, I've given Kalinic a 4. I can't repeat the words that I said when I saw him miss that opportunity at the death. I just don't understand how he can be so poor in front of goal. You know, I did say he was the perfect substitution to be made because I felt like his pace and movement was going to suit the way the game was going. Lazio penning us back. We were trying to counter-attack. Kalinic leading the line. I thought he was perfect to do that job. But ultimately just squandered that brilliant opportunity, and that's just unforgivable. Luckily, it didn't cost us. But still, it's not good enough, and that's going to put massive pressure on him now moving forward with the fans, as they're going to get right on his back if he misses another opportunity when he comes out next. So, very disappointing from Kalinic, giving him a 4. Montalivo and Barini both get 5s. I think Montalivo used his experience well, kind of helped us gain a sense of control over the game when others around him were looking tired. Missed his penalty, which was not good to see, but didn't cost us. So overall, 5 out of 10 for Montalivo. And similarly for Barini, didn't have a great deal of time on the pitch. I felt like he may have come on earlier, but fresh pair of legs, decent job in the closing stages of the game, and took a great penalty. So great to see him deliver in a big moment again. So happy with Barini. Onto your Twitter comments. Kingsley Ofuegbu at K Ofuegbu6. The right man scored the winning penalty. Romagnoli is becoming more world class as each game passes. That tackle he made to deny an almost certain Milinkovic-Savic goal was amazing. As a defender myself, Romagnoli is my personal favourite right now on Milan's team. Kingsley, completely 100% agree with you. I've been raving about Romagnoli now for 3 or 4 podcasts in a row. He really is becoming world class. May have to see more of it from now until the end of the season to label him world class, but he's certainly on the right path. He's playing at an unbelievable level right now, and long may that continue. So absolutely fantastic to see from him. Rishab Dabari at Rishab Dabari. Subdued performance with some good moments. Solid defensively after the first 10 minutes. Gigio with his best performance this season. Absolutely stellar today alongside Romagnoli. I think Gigio takes my man of the match though. We look tired out there today, mostly because of the massive fixture pile-up. Can't blame the players. Can't blame the coach. Hope this 120-minute game doesn't cost us against Inter. That game could make or break our season. Flop of the match is Kalinic, by the way. I'd rather not talk about it. Rishab, similarly to Kingsley, 100% agree with everything you've said there. Solid defensively after the first 10 minutes. Spot on. Donnarumma and Romagnoli, 2 key players, 2 man of the match candidates. I went for Romagnoli, but completely understand your choice to give it to Gigio. Yes, the tiredness is a concern, especially with another massive game coming up at the weekend. We could have done with avoiding the 120 minutes tonight, but that's the way it played out. And like I said, the main thing was that we got through it and won. I think if we'd have played 120 minutes and got knocked out, that could have had a massively negative impact on us and kind of undone the positive sort of confidence and atmosphere built within the squad at the moment. So really happy to see us prevail, and hopefully that doesn't cost us in terms of fatigue against Inter and then obviously Arsenal as well next week. So big games coming up. Flop of the match, Kalinic, agree with you, and yep, equally the same as you. I'd rather not talk about it, but people will talk about it. It's more criticism coming his way. No defence of him. I've defended him a lot, particularly when we first signed him. I defended him quite a lot, but there is no defence for him now. It's just poor stuff from Kalinic, and I'm afraid it's gonna lead to much more criticism for him. Samir Mohammed at Samir Mohammed 72. I seriously thought we would lose this match. I don't want to talk about Kessie. We had an amazing defence. Looking forward to taking revenge against Juve. I wonder how they will regain their full fitness against Inter. Kalinic out. Sorry, supported him for way too long. Samir, similarly to Rishab there, agree with you on Kalinic. Just far too many times I've supported him. Can't do it anymore. That miss absolutely infuriated me, and just I don't know how he comes back from that now. I think Gattuso supported him in his post-match interview, but it's going to take more than kind words in interviews to get him back in the team and firing. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Defence was amazing. Yep. I don't want to talk about Kessie. I'm a bit surprised on that point. I thought Kessie was quite good. I don't know what disappointed you about his performance, but agree with you on the defence. And yes, it'd be lovely to take revenge on Juve. massive concern, like I mentioned there, about the fitness ahead of the Inter game. Hopefully we can regroup, get things together and put in a serious shift against them as well, but only time will tell whether or not that happens. Great stuff, guys. Another fantastic night, another memorable night. This run continues, as I mentioned earlier, 13 games unbeaten in all competitions now, almost 600 minutes without conceding a goal. Into this weekend, Arsenal next week. Let's just hope and pray that this run can continue and we continue to impress. In the meantime, you can follow me at Milan Talk 1 on Twitter and Facebook, or on my personal account at SP Calcio. But like I said, until the Inter game, that's all from me tonight. Forza Milan, and speak to you soon.